Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 position 4s of 7.31b. Honestly, as I was kind of making this list and going through what heroes are being picked in the pro scene, what's doing well in pubs, and so on, I kind of struggled, I'm not gonna lie, I struggled a little bit to pick a few heroes that have been really dominating in the position 4 role. However, I've made a list of kind of a few heroes that I think do very different things, and I'm going to talk about when you should pick them in what games. And I think that's going to really help you guys get the advantage in your pubs. Now, you might be like, oh, Speed, I have to first pick. Either way, when you first pick, you can also advise your teammates to pick certain heroes, and you can simply understand what to do on your hero that's going to enable yourself to stomp. And so let's get into it. And also, I want to tell you guys that I will be making full-length guides for all of the heroes, basically every hero on this list, over on the gameleap website. So I highly recommend you, of course, check that out if you've been struggling to gain rank. You don't know why you can't win your rank games. You feel like nothing's working. I make it very clear what you need to do to actually get past the hurdles that are holding you back. A lot of people just don't know. I am rank 62 now. I can assure you, I know how to gain rank, and I'm going to help you make sure that journey is a lot easier, less painful. You know, Dota's gonna be painful no matter what. It's funny when I said that, I'm like, oh, so Loki's gonna be shitty no matter what. But the gameleap website, for me, it helps to make the game more fun because it gives you ideas. I help motivate you guys, and so go check it out. Sign up down below. All right, let's start it off with 3 honorable mentions. These are heroes that I actually think are incredibly good at position 4s, but I've either mentioned on previous lists and didn't really want to repeat, or are very hard to play. The first one is Monkey King. If you've been watching any of Tundra's recent series, you'll be seeing Saksa play it basically every single game. The reason why this hero is a good 4 is Monkey King has incredibly good base stats and as a result trades very well in lane. On top of that, he's one of the best vision heroes in Dota, and he's a vision hero with setup, meaning you can basically play this hero as a position 4, right? He has a stun, a slow, gives vision, good lane. That's good enough to be a pos 4, and in fact, it's very good as a pos 4. So if you're looking for a difficult to play but hero that actually scales very well in the pos 4 role as well, Monkey King is a great option. It's a little bit difficult to play, but if you understand how to make this hero snowball, it's very, very powerful. The second one is Pugna. I'm not going to repeat why I think Pugna is good. I've said it in the last 8 million videos, but Pugna's good as a pos 4 as well. And finally is Chen. He was up there on the position 5 tier list. And yeah, he's great as a pos 4 as well. In fact, on Dota 2 Pro Tracker, he currently is the highest win rate position 4. And it makes sense to me. It's very easy to get a good creep as the position 4, from my experience. And on top of that, as you get more levels as the position 4 in some games, you're actually going to be able to do a lot with the items and levels you get as Chen. This is a hero that naturally hits a very hard level 7, 8, 9 spike with max penitence and max holy persuasion, as well as a potential ancient creep at minute 15 built into a medallion and a drums. Chen can solo kill the majority of position 5 heroes and do a number on the ability to farm for basically every safe laner in the game. All right, coming in at number 5, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is a real sleeper pick for me, okay? So you're gonna have to hear me out on this one, and that is Naga Siren. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure that Naga Siren is the best position 4 in the game, or is the 5th best position 4 in the game, but I really wanted to add her onto this list because I think there is potential here for a very fun hero to play that is also very good in the position 4 role. So why is Naga good as a 4? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Number 1, she's a good laner. Just to understand that, Naga is a very, very good laner, even as a support. She is incredibly good at trading. Why? Most position 5s are ranged heroes. They can't trade into the illusions. They get annihilated by the illusions. The second thing, she has a stun. She has net, right? So right then and there, she has a disable. It's a pretty long disable as well. So, that's a strong ability. Her E, Riptide, you might be like, oh, speed, but the problem is Riptide, right? Now it's an ability that after 6 auto attacks procs. That's obviously good if you have high attack speed. That doesn't work on support, right? Well, no, it kind of can. I mean, to be fair, it's only 6 auto attacks to proc. That's not too hard considering you have 4 total units, so basically they all need to just hit twice, right? So you're definitely gonna proc. And that's nice in the laning stage. You're reliably going to proc against a position 4 if you scale Riptide, which you can at level 2 if you're really just owning the trades. A couple more things to understand about this hero as a support is the versatility in her ability to play around creep camps. What do I mean by that? She can block all the creep camps in the enemy jungle, basically, with her illusions. She can stack as many camps as she wants if you're good at micro, and she provides vision with her illusions as well. So in the mid to late game, when your team wants to walk up a hill or you want to scout out Roshan, you constantly can do that because Mirror Image is a very low cooldown ability with a pretty high duration on the illusions. So there's that. And then finally, they changed Meteor Hammer to have a much bigger radius right now. As a result, Meteor Hammer can easily hit 2 to 3 units out of Naga Siren's Song of the Siren. And you might be like, Speed, what are you talking about? If you don't know what I'm talking about, Naga Siren can channel Meteor Hammer and then shift Q her ulti so that as the Meteor Hammer falls, her ulti will turn off and therefore hit the enemy heroes around her. And so it's very easy to hit a 3-man Meteor Hammer in mid-game teamfights and late-game teamfights. And it's only a 1.25 second stun, but it's enough to allow your team to set up, and it does do quite significant damage, especially in the early game. And so yeah, I think there's a lot of potential. Oh, one more thing, the Shard. Her Shard, when you proc Naga Siren's ulti, heals. It's a percentage-based heal that does 35% of people's HP as a heal. That's pretty crazy, right? Like, it's a massive heal and a huge AoE, and if you ever manage to get her Ags as well, you have a BKB piercing disable. I'm gonna stop harping on Naga now. I just feel like this hero actually has quite a bit of potential, so I wanted to put it on the list. Coming in at number 4 is Skywrath. This is the burst damage hero of the position 4 list that I have here. If your team manages to pick or you know they're gonna pick stuns, right? They pick Axe, they pick Centaur, you know, you're gonna have a Sand King, then I think Skywrath is fantastic. But you really want to pair Skywrath with one of these types of heroes. To be fair, you could also pair Skywrath with a position 5 that does something similar. For instance, a position 5 Clockwork, or, you know, a position 5 Lion is not as good because, you know, someone kind of needs to go in, but it can work. You know, if you stun into nuke, they die. But yeah, I really like Skywrath right now. The hero has quite a high win rate, just in general in Dota. It's around 52% right now on Dota buff, but the hero is a great laner. Right, it's a fantastic laner. You just spam your Q, your W got buffed at level 1, your Q got buffed at all levels. So if you want to go the QW route, I actually think it's incredibly good in the laning stage. It's actually stronger than it's ever been. Now, I think the Null's getting nerfed recently, where the mana cost reduction now stacks diminishingly, does hurt Skywrath. However, I don't think it matters that much. In fact, I don't even think you have to necessarily go Nulls on Skywrath. While it is good, like, I legitimately still think buying 2-3 Nulls on the current version of Skywrath Mage is very powerful. You can also just still rush Rod of Atos. There's a lot of options on Skywrath to make this hero very powerful. I genuinely believe Skywrath is one of the best pub heroes in the game if you learn how to play around wards. This hero in particular, if you manage to play around vision properly, just solo kills everyone. That's how the hero works, right? It's the solo kill machine. It doesn't provide you anything in teamfights, but it's the solo kill god. So if you're going to play Sky, you have to do a couple things. Buy obs, please. Don't make your pause 5 do it. You're like, Speed, I can't play around ops because my pause 5 places them all defensively. It's like, do it yourself, bro. It's free. It's free, just do it yourself. So you can do that, all right? You can buy the wards, play on them yourself, and if you have a stun on your team, you can ask them to play with you. If you don't, you can go Atos. Coming in at number 3 is Mirana. Literally not gonna say much about Mirana. This hero, it has not really changed very much. It just hasn't. But it's still good. There's not too much to say. It's just a nuke and another nuke that stuns and mobility so you can scout and you farm fast because you arrow creeps and you make your whole team invis and give them movement speed with your ult. So like, yeah, Mirana really is Mirana is one of the most well-rounded pause 4s in the game. This is a hero you easily can first pick every game. Like, if you're like wanting to learn the pause 4 role and like spam a hero, Mirana easily is one of the most reliable 4s in the game. It's so freaking reliable. You might be like, what, Speed? Mirana's reliable. Her arrow is unreliable. It's like, yeah, I mean, her arrow is unreliable, but her kit in general, it's just good every game. You know, it's a stun. You might be like, oh, but I need a setup stun. Not really. Like, in the laning stage, just arrow range creeps for the most part. Then arrow big creeps, and then, like, learn how to hit people with arrows without a stun. Like, it is a skill, right? It's not luck. It's a skill. So there's that. Then you have a really high damage nuke. As I said earlier, like, one thing that's really good about Mirana is, like, Once again, let's say your team wants to play a hill, right? Or you need someone to scout. You might be like, oh, we don't have a tank. My position 4 is an Agi hero. Nah, Mirana can go Vestal Yules. She's incredibly difficult to kill and then has 3 leap charges, right? So like, you're not easy to kill. Your hero is actually incredibly, it's like a Weaver 4, right? That hero is insanely good as a 4 right now. And honestly, it probably should be on this list. I didn't want to put it on this list, but even that hero is very good right now as well. But yeah, all right, coming in at number 2, I'm going to keep this one very simple, is Clockwork. I was looking at all of the Initiator +4s right now, and I think Clockwork is the best on average. Now, Dota is a game of, a lot of variables. So if the enemy team has a ton of, for instance, like blink out heroes, right? They have a Quap and a Puck and, their carries an Animage. It's really nice in that case to have a hero like Earth Spirit or Earth Shaker so you can have more solid lockdown. However, Clock in general, in my opinion, is kind of like Mirana, where just in general, it's going to be the better hero on average, right? It provides vision. It's a much better laner on average than a hero like Shaker and Earth Spirit. It can go for solo kills on the position 5. And it's a very reliable stun that doesn't require items or frankly even very many levels to initiate in hookshot, right? Something like Earthshaker needs a blink. Earth Spirit generally needs a lot of levels to have impact. It does do a lot with those levels, but it needs a lot of levels. And then something like Tusk, it's a bit slow on the initiation, so it's not as hard of an initiator as Clockwork is. And finally, coming in at the number 1 spot is Treant Protector. Now, how should you play this hero as a position 4? I feel very confident in saying that I think you should do the following. Number 1, at level 1, you take Nature's Grasp. Use this to trade. At level 2 and level 3, take Leech Seed. Also use this to trade. On that note, you should be buying Orb of Venom and a Mango and a Clarity every single lane. You want to make sure you have an Oov and mana regen so you can trade very efficiently, and if the position 1 or 5 ever walks out of position, you can basically guarantee a kill. On the note of guaranteeing a kill, Orb of Venom slow with Nature's Grasp slow and Leech Seed slow is enough to basically kill the majority of heroes in the game. So with the aggressive position 3s that you're likely going to be laning with, you can very often get kills. It's an incredibly good laner. Now, I do not recommend maxing out your Q and your W. I think a lot of people would do this. What I think you should do now is take 1 point in Grasp, max out Leech Seed in the early game, or at least take 2 points in it, and then max out Living Armor. Living Armor is kind of a ridiculous ability right now. Why is it ridiculous? Well, it has a 30-second duration at max. It's only 15 at level 1, but even at level 1, for 15 seconds, you give someone on your team 3 armor. It only heals for 45. Really, this ability is primarily about the armor and not as much about the heal, but as I was saying, at max, so let's say at level 7 or level 8 or level let's say 9, 10, depending on how many points you put in Leech Seed, if you're owning the game and you're getting a ton of kills and you can completely dumpster your lane, you should max the Leech Seed by 7, right? If it's not going like that and the game's a bit harder and you need to just defend towers with your Q and your E, well, max the E. Right. But the big thing here is when you max the spell out, it's a 15-second cooldown, 30-second duration. It gives 12 armor for 30 seconds. 12 armor. Man, 12, dude. It's 180 heal, which is relatively significant. However, it's over a very long period of time, so it's obviously not insanely good in terms of a heal, but it's about the armor. 12 armor. It is ridiculously hard to push into Treant. Why? Because you put 12 armor on your frontliner and you put 12 armor on the tower, and you can't kill either of them. It is quite frankly ridiculous. And you can have 2 of these going at a time easily, nearly 3. And so yeah, I just love Treant as a 4 right now, and the item you should go is Meteor Hammer. I kind of talked about it with Naga, the Naga Siren into Meteor Hammer combo, but Overgrowth right now, Overgrowth and a Meteor Hammer is a very powerful combo. Why? Because the radius is so freaking big. It is incredibly, and I'm not just saying this, it is incredibly easy right now to set up a 3 or 4 man Overgrowth into a 3 or 4 man Meteor Hammer in your average Bob. It just is. It is insane because the Meteor Hammer radius is freaking massive. It's massive, and Overgrowth is a 3-second disable at level 1. The channel and drop time of Meteor Hammer is shorter than that. So as long as you're quick about it, you're easily going to be able to just own team fights. The amount of AoE damage you can do with your Q, Meteor Hammer, and ulti in a team fight, and then giving armor to 2 teammates, 12 armor, to something like a Death Prophet who wants to run in and has no armor, or to a Leshrac who has no armor but wants to run in. Man, you can buff these heroes so freaking well. So you can even push your team to pick heroes like Death Prophet and Leshrac. Man, I love these combos, right? Because these heroes kind of lack Disable and Armor. What does Treant provide? Disable and Armor, and he defends towers. So man, I love Treant right now. I think the hero is incredibly powerful. And yeah, that's going to be the end of today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all, but remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.